All right, welcome back, everyone. I am Brian. You are Chords and Notes Nation. You've been invited over into my living room. Have a seat. We have a special guest here, Frosty, from the Frosty Pepper. Please go to his YouTube channel. It will be linked at the end of this video. Give him some love there. Okay, Frosty. So I actually chose this one. I gave you a little bit of a background as far as the album. Night is the New Day. It was right around 2012. I was going through some medical things that kind of had me debilitated. Not kind of, it did have me debilitated. This album as a whole connected with me, in a way no other music has.
Yep.
And this is probably one of the more impactful songs off of that album for me. So I wanted to share it with you. It's a lyric video that I pulled off of Albert Ozal. That is his channel. Last name Ozahl. Go find it there if you want to see it. He put it up 1 month ago, 24 views. So I don't want you to think that this is unpopular.
Yeah.
This is just on his channel.
Yeah.
That's how many views. So thank you, Albert, for putting this up because it's a lyric video, and I think it's always important to have lyrics involved. So this is not the official video then. All right. So I'm sure like the images and whatnot that we see are not going to be Katatonia, approved. But what do you know of Katatonia? Have you ever heard of them?
I've heard the name.
Okay. They are, essentially they've been categorized as like a doom death metal.
Kind of like Porcupine Tree. I associate them with Porcupine
Stephen
Tree.
Wilson has actually been associated with them and Opeth. You've heard Opeth before. Yeah. Opeth and Katatonia have are friends.
Okay.
Michael Ackerfeld actually did some vocals on early Katatonia stuff. And they have some members of Katatonia and Opeth joined together to form the supergroup called Bloodbath. Mm-hmm. So they've done that project too. Katatonia has gone through some soundscape changes over their career. I didn't like the really early stuff that they did in the studio when they were, like 19 years old, whatever, and they were kind of along the slow, grungy, death metal kind of, trudging along. And then Jonas, I think it's pronounced Renksa or Renska, however, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. They're from Sweden. When he took over doing clean vocals, there was a shift, in my opinion, there was a shift at that time in the direction of the band. If there's a band that embodied an emotion, it's Katatonia, and that emotion is melancholy. Mm. The many different ways that they can invoke that feeling is just, it's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And how they've done it, and what they've done over the course of their career is just amazing. Some people it's kind of like Rush. The early stuff was the best. The middle stuff, it wasn't, or maybe it was, or whatever. It's kind of along that trajectory.
Metallica.
But for me, I think, and we're looking at, it was mid to late 90s when they first started.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah.
So they've been around,
I didn't know that.
How many years now? How many decades? So this is back from 2012. This is New Night. This is a first listen for you. This is not for me. Let's get started. We missed the first few notes. Sorry. Too loud? You want it louder?
Good.
This time I am so uncertain that my heart will go on.
It's a lot like me.
That's too one. If you were here you'd find that I'm not feeling well, that I will have to go on.
Landscape. I saw some things going on in your mind there.
It's right up my alley. I loved it. The landscape, the energy, the dynamics of it. Some of the lines were great. To piece it together into a fluent message, not yet. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah. For me, like I said, it at a certain time in my life, it made a connection.
Benchmark song.
And there are times still, to this day, when I haven't listened to it for months, and then I come back and I listen to it, the emotional context of the song, I start to cry.
Yep.
Okay, so lyrically, what this is telling me, this is somebody who made a pledge to another person who's married. I envision a man whose wife has died years and years and years ago, and he's had to live his life out waiting to be reunited with her, and he's on his deathbed,
Okay.
and he's dying. There's a white cloud under my eyelid. There's swirling dark, shrouding my freedom.
I like that line.
My sun is pale.
Yeah.
My heart's old. Summer unwinds now, but I have no reason to follow.
Yep.
I'm in
No more springs
I'm in
for
the
you.
waiting line.
Yep.
You know, barren ground. I stand silent.
The lone.
He's
lonely,
dying.
The lonely, cold, psychological isolation of death.
I
Yeah.
think that to me that's what that was.
Yeah.
And
It's not hopeless though.
no, no, it's certainly melancholy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love melancholy.
And here's the beauty of the band is you have all of that soundscape going on. There wasn't a guitar solo.
Yeah. No, it's just-
All the instruments work together to paint the picture.
Yeah. Yeah. It's painting an environment for this mood to be in.
Absolutely. And it fits with the greater theme of that album. That album, The Night is the New Day, when that came out, they were already seeding the consciousness about how the future of humanity, everything's going to be flipped. Night is the new day.
A lot of prophetic.
Okay, a lot of things that were being seeded back then for what's happened over the last...
Metallica and Justice for All.
That too.
I thought that like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, man, they were on to something 40 years ago.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes. That reminds me, and I know you're enjoying this, and I've been dominating it with the things that I want to watch, because we're going to continue to
That's all right.
some of the things you want. But what we're just talking about here, there's another song off of this album that I think you are going to just eat up, called Inheritance. And that one...
I had a song called Inheritance.
Okay.
The Inheritance is one of my songs.
And that's something that we'll have to, off camera, check out. And hopefully we can get some of those finished. You know.
There's one I couldn't bring back from before the accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, so overall impression of this.
A plus, honestly, and I don't give things A pluses very easily.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because this, to me, you know, the benchmark for me
Yeah.
musically has always been Rush.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the quality of music.
I heard a lot of Tool in it. I heard
Okay.
it's like a bubblegum Tool.
You know what? I will tell you what. Now, I've heard other reactors listen to this era of Katatonia, and say the same thing. And now I started this channel and I was reacting to a lot of Tool. I appreciate Tool. I did listen to Tool when they first came out. It was part of the circle of what we did as friends. Okay, part of that music. But I never got on board with them.
I wasn't
100%.
but I really appreciated them.
And as I was doing those 5 years ago, all of those Tool reactions, I appreciated the musicianship, but there was a lot of things involved in the messages that just I didn't care for.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some heavy messaging in
This,
some of them.
well, and some of it was kind of inappropriate. Stinkfist, come on.
Yeah.
All right, you know, like I don't need that.
What's that one song? Judith or Lilith about his mom dying?
That was intense,
That's
and
an intense
I
song.
appreciated that.
I would like to dissect that song sometime.
But for me, I would never categorize these guys with Tool.
It's the same tonation in the voice.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That I get.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's like Okay, so what was I saying? So I said Rush is like the standard, which all bands have to meet in order for me to say, hey, fantastic.
I don't have
Katatonia met that standard.
Yeah.
Okay, they're probably one of the few that have gotten to that level.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I have certain qualifications.
Rush were particularly talented dudes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But the integrity with which they did everything.
Yes. Their songwriting, their album, putting together their albums, the concept albums.
You don't have to like it, but you just
respect it.
When you understand what it is that they did and why they did it that way, and the thought process that went behind it to create this stuff is intense, and that is true artistry. It's not just making something to make it and sell it.
The one of the Von Erichs, the wrestling family, used to come out to Tom Sawyer.
Okay.
Rush's version of Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
So I've had a fondness for Rush since like early '80s. Watching him come out to Days Tom Sawyer. He's known as the Modern Warrior karaoke band.
Yeah. Modern day warrior.
Yep.
Yeah. But to me, Katatonia has done that in their own way, and they have shown over the decades. They can experiment with the sound that they want, but it's amazing to me that they carry this essence of melancholy with them.
Yeah.
And no matter how they change their sound, that doesn't change, and they just keep getting better. So we're actually going to go right into Inheritance.
Are we?
Okay, I think so. I want that fresh on your mind, okay, when you go into that. So, guys, thank you so much for visiting. Come back for that next video. God bless you. Jesus loves you. And we will talk to you later. Bye.